Today on What the Heck is Happening in HR, I want to talk a little bit. Well, I'm going to talk a lot about the employee experience and how we're kind of messing it up. And it is just really being showcased as being messed up because we're returning from the office. That's today on What the Heck is Happening in HR. For our podcast disclaimer, please visit the episode description. Thanks for coming back to What the Heck is Happening in HR. Today, I want to talk about the employee experience. I don't think we've done a really good job getting this right. And when I say we, I mean all of us, whether we are employees in the organization, whether we are in HR, whether we're the manager, or even if we're the CEO and the senior staff really setting those expectations. I certainly don't think we have done a good job with establishing it in a digital age. So I want to chat about that a bit. I read something recently, and I don't remember from where, but it said that 80% of employees say a poor experience with workplace tech makes them less productive. Yeah, absolutely, because it is the tool of today. It isn't just something else you do. So, a couple things, well, more than a couple. Here we go. Let's just kind of get into them. That first week, what is it we're doing with onboarding? Real onboarding that goes on for a year, 18 months. I mean, what is the program? Are we handing them a notebook of things? What is it? They say that 70% of employees judge a company by how that first week goes. And if we don't have anything, what the heck? I mean, I have with one client, we set up a scavenger hunt so that they could go from the app and then take a picture there and learn different parts of the business and run a hashtag, and it really helped providing a good feedback loop, and that was really, really good as far as bringing onboarding and tech together and making it a user-friendly application of onboarding and kind of a continuous orientation that first year. The next thing is we think we're engaging with employees when we give them a survey, and we have surveyed employees to death. And quite frankly, we only fix what we want to fix. Almost to the point of if the feedback we get from the survey tells us something different, we justify why we're not going to do that. And you can say, oh, that doesn't happen, Kelly. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, it did happen and it still happens. And employees want to be heard. But these surveys are killing engagement. So do just sort of like a pulse check. Use Teams or use Slack or use Zoom and get rid of annual reviews. Just do something quarterly, do something every once in a while. Just let them know that they feel valued and what they're doing to contribute to the mission and to be heard about what they need to do to be developed. And then personalize your work. Personalize it through the digital tools available. You've got AI. So if you have a learning platform and you want to roll out classes, then roll it out personalized. If it's on sexual harassment, roll it out with scenarios that are familiar to a salesperson. If it happens to be a help desk person, roll it out in what it means like for somebody who's working in the office or somebody who's working hybrid or somebody who's fully remote or somebody who's in another state. Don't do this cookie cutter approach when you can certainly tailor benefits and training and communications. We have folks who are joined our workforce who aren't getting the junk mail that says to the resident of. They're getting junk mail that has their name on it. So why would they expect less from their workforce? It might not seem like much, but it really gives an impact, and recognize what the salesperson needs to be developed on. Recognize what that help desk person needs to be developed on, and then personalize, tailor it, give them the appreciation, give them that recognition, and let them know when they've been successful in that progress. And then certainly communication and how we're connecting and whether we're really creating a community within our workforce. And that community needs to be established, whether it is virtual coffee chats, but quite frankly, those happy hours didn't really go over. I know some people still do the coffee chats. I don't know. I don't know, maybe it's because my coffee was always hot, and usually when I was at work, I only at the office, it was cold by the time I got to it, so maybe it just doesn't hit with me, but I hope it's working for you. But instead, let's go back to using some of our digital tools. Is there a way to make this a game? Can we do a trivia game about the organization? I know years ago, back in college, and I worked for Busch Gardens, the old country, and you had to read about the history and have all the knowledge that you needed to have about the park so that if somebody stopped you, one of the guests stopped you and asked you about how do I get to Germany and I'm in England, and that you could answer that question. And when you did that, then you got up to 5 free tickets for people to come into the park. And that was really quite expensive at that time to be able to come into the park. So it was a game I had to learn, and I would learning it for the job, but I got something for that. And so that opportunity to get something when it wasn't a traditional sit in this class and read all of this, it helped me paint the picture of what it meant to connect, in that I'm working in the English Emporium, but what else is around in my workplace? So games are a big deal. Trivia games. I mean, you can't go to a pizza parlor today without seeing trivia games happen. What if you had one of those set up? Or what if you set up your benefits outplacement, your benefits open enrollment that way? What if you did that? What if you did your 401k scenarios and set an example up and then let people guess the answer? What are you doing to connect people with the world that they already know? You hear over and over, meet people where they are, and this is one of those examples. See, an employee experience isn't about all the fancy perks. It's not necessarily being in hybrid workforce. It isn't about doing everything at once. And you've heard me say it isn't the foosball in the table. But what it is about making sure that the employees understand our vision and understand the reason that they're here, and that we understand that digital tools help us make a better employee experience. It is about making the tech work for us and work for our people and not against them. So, pick something, make it better, and set up that YouTube channel. Do something to be able to have it better for your employees with that experience. And then really be able to let them know that you appreciate what they're doing and give them that recognition. So that employee experience starts at your sourcing, starts at your recruitment, and will continue on to when they leave your firm, whether it's in 18 months or in 18 years. So be sure to think about it and evolve with what tools are available today and not perhaps the tools you had when you came in. So I hope this experience has been at least a bit of your learning, but a bit to give you an idea as to what to make happen in your organization so that the employee experience is a better one. Thanks for listening to What the Heck is Happening in HR.